Hello everybody, this is Grace on a Journey, and you are listening to Grace on a Journey Channelings. Welcome to the newcomer, and to those of you returning, my fellow travelers, welcome back. We are happy to have you. I want to begin by saying, I hope today finds you well. I pray that you are realizing the importance to have a positive mindset, and you are using that awareness to assist you in your maneuvering. When it comes to your journey, my goal is to share my experiences and assist at attracting healing. Towards the collective and myself. Because as I offer my services to the collective, my fellow travelers, I also benefit from the exercise of self-expression. That gives me more self-awareness. It gives me more of a positive mindset, and it offers unlimited abundance. And with all that said, I am beaming with gratitude for the opportunities offered to me by God. I am also thankful for myself for being brave enough, courageous enough, resilient enough to keep on pushing, even in those moments of discouragement, of doubt, of disappointment. I applaud myself in always choosing to stand back up again. I was asked to confirmation. I was asked to express this to you, to bring to your awareness that you are being called to praise yourself. We spend too much time knocking ourselves down and finding everything negative about ourselves. That causes us to attract more of that vibration into our lives. As we begin to embrace ourselves the way that God sees us, as we begin to see ourselves through the eyes of love and not the eyes of judgment, we invite increase. I'm hearing trust God. Some of you need to make that a prayer request, to have you be in the energy and the willingness to be able to trust God and know that all is well with your soul. Today, the title of the lesson is My Karma, Your Karma. My karma, your karma. And what I find amusing about how the title was derived is I received a channel song. It's pretty popular. And the song is called My Power. It is definitely doing its rounds around social media. And it is one of Beyonce's most I want to choose my words correctly. Empowering. That's the word I want to use. It is one of her most empowering songs. Confirmation. And how the title was derived, as I was just stating, is I began to hear the song. You know one thing, my power, my power, my power. But instead of hearing my power, I was hearing my karma, your karma, my karma, your karma. You know one thing, my karma, your karma, my karma. They feel away. Oh, wow. I love how I receive messages, mostly because it is always different. There are times that they use other avenues to call my attention. Not by the means of music. It can be art. And I can just look at a picture and I could see what's unseen. Meaning, I see a picture. You may see what the artist painted, but I see the message that's being sent. It comes in forms of synchronicities, sometimes overwhelmingly so. And I am embracing that part of my journey as well, because it always benefits me. Those of you that do receive downloads will have seasons where you need to be at a pace that you agree with when it comes to balance. And the message that I have for you is you can go into prayer about that. If you feel the messages that you're receiving are coming at a speed that is not offering enough time for you to process it, you can request more time to process it. You can request clarity. You can request time to rest. Those of you who are called on a temple path know that you are basically on call. It could be at any time. But when you feel that your body needs rest or your mind needs rest, you need to bring that to the attention of your spirit guides. They will work with you and they will encourage you to continue to apply self-care in your life and continue to attract self-nurturing as a routine. And I chose the word or the statement routine rather than a daily routine, because this should be ongoing. In order for you to give from your cup, you need to be replenished. So you need to make time to connect with God and your spirit teams. And another piece of advice, it wouldn't hurt to request redirection when necessary. You see, sometimes, as much as we practice discipline, we are still spiritual beings having a human experience. And so there are times you need that encouragement, you need that motivation, you need that inspiration. You need to get on task. You need to stop procrastinating, and so forth. And so when you invite guidance in regards to redirection, it has been my experience, rather, it has been beneficial for me when I was willing enough to invite angelic intervention. It's helped me to grow and reach heights that I once believed were not reachable. And that relates to the negative self-talk. This is why we were directed earlier to incorporate more positive self-talk. Confirmation. I'm just smiling because it was a confirmation. But what crossed my mind is that interrupted my flow in thought. And I was reminded that I need to trust the process. Most of what I do when I connect with you is strategic. And in my truth, the strategy being provided, confirmation, the strategy being provided is what I download, is what I am channeling. It is what I am feeling. I will forever be humble in that respect, because I see how far I've come. And I know my present reality is due to the mentoring, the teaching, the guidance, the wisdom, the love, the care of all that is assisting me to fulfill my highest good. I am never standing alone. And this is why when I fly, I will never fly alone. It is unrealistic to be on a journey such as this and believe that you can be an island, that everything could fall on you. Whether you are called to work with other people or you are called to concentrate on working with your destined helpers. And mine so happened to be my angelic teams. Without getting too detailed and off topic, angels have their specialties. So when you are working with angels, you need to be in the awareness of what you are being called to do. Because you need to be in the association of those angels that are specializing with that target in mind. This is why when I read books concerning angels and how to contact them and how to gain access to them and how to summons them, I pay attention to the fact that we are all on our own path. And so what you are being guided to do is not necessarily what I am being guided to do. All this to say, learn to have an intimate relationship with God, with your angels, the ascended masters. Learn to have relationships that flourish. It shouldn't just be, can I have? Can you help? You actually need to bond. You actually need to have a connection. You actually need to say thank you. You actually need to share how they can be of assistance to others. This is the opportunity for us to connect in the oneness that is. And so the strategy of hiding information or misleading others or theft, spiritual theft, is not in alignment with the light. And although they are both in the category of spirituality in some sense, it is not the same. If you believe your strength is in the direction of the dark, you are not equipped with the knowledge or wisdom nor foresight or ability to teach those that are guided to some form of degree in the spectrum of light. There is no competition because there is no comparison. I hear many times in conversation when it comes to appearance that you should use what you have. That is how you achieve success. You use what you have. And that can be carried out in other departments of your life. Be the best at what you are good at. Be open to learning. Be open to development. Be open to a new foundation. And I must tell you, that is one of the most frightening experiences that you can have. When you believe something for as long as you have, and you are awakened to the fact that in this season, this is my foundation. My newfound awareness is my foundation. It requires a lot of courage, because in your decision to move and relocate, opposition will arise in all departments of your life and at different levels. So before you make a move, when it comes to a direction regarding a spiritual path, think. Don't allow anyone to rush you. Follow your intuition. Don't take it for granted. And always be willing to appreciate each other's frame of thought. That does not mean we have to agree wholeheartedly. That means we need to develop a pattern that allows us to be comfortable with agreeing to disagree. That shows sign of maturity. It heightens your wisdom, and it is what leaders are called to do. We are not called to knock each other down, lie on each other, steal from each other, frame each other, kill each other. Whatever attack. That is never a direction that will offer you permanent gain. You may experience confirmation. You may experience an illusion of temporary gain. But in the long run, you're attracting regret. Now, when this title was brought to me, My Karma, Your Karma, I said, are we really going there? Especially when we are asked to move on and release people, places, and things and energies that no longer serve us. So revisiting these moments in time, I don't even regard them as memories, because it's like it never happened, because it didn't make any root. It didn't attach to the foundation of who I am. It didn't define me. And so I find myself increasingly disassociating with those parts of yesterday's journey. They're not my journey, because they were experiences that others participated in to write, rewrite my story. But as we are led to enlightenment, we learn that we write our own stories. And so such experience has led me to that understanding and that recollection of the channeled song. My power, my power. They feel a way. Oh, wow. You see, we need to remember that even in energies of trickery, that eventually we will be face to face with my karma, your karma. And I'm being called to go in a direction that in truth, I hesitated, because it is my understanding, and as I have connected and shared with you before, I am not here to convert any of you. I am here offering food for thought. Some of the philosophies I share will prove that I was called to be a pioneer. And this is the revelation I was given years ago, that I was about to go through some of the hardest times in my life. But in the end, justice would be served, and that my name would be remembered generations after my passing. That was not enough to prepare me to what I was awakened to. Because part of the process I experienced shock, to the extent of the dark night of the soul. But that is what assisted me to transform. That is what still puts me in the energy of awe. Because I never thought I would be able to forgive for such atrocities. Atrocities that I've experienced. But with God comes miracles. And He chose me to be miraculous. But it comes with a tall order. It comes with experiences that come with growth spurts. And at times they may be painful. But in hindsight, you are able to appreciate that light in rationality. I want to thank God right now. Before I go any further, I want to say thank you, God. In fact, I want to say praise God. God is great. God is awesome. God is love. People, God never left my side. And that is a message for all of you. Even when you feel alone, forgotten, rejected, cursed, know that you being alone is just a figment of your imagination. Be awakened to the fact that you cannot be alone because we are all connected to some degree. It began with a love spell. A love spell was used to manipulate me to connect to an individual that I would not have without the assistance and manipulation of that spell. Now, the only people who would be able to certify that would be people that know me most intimately. They would know my likes, my dislikes, my levels of toleration, my pet peeves, and so as angry as that made me, knowing that someone manipulated me to enter a connection with him, and that it was an injustice, and that he needed to experience a back to sender, and that it would be very challenging for me to even fathom the thought of forgiving for such an offense. God is a miracle worker. We're being called to the title again. My karma, your karma. We all accrue karma. Karma from this life, karma from your past life. And this is an opportunity to agree to disagree. But in transparency, I know I have past lives, plural. When I finally was able to accept that concept as it was a change in foundation, I asked God to offer me memories of yesterday. people, it made a believer out of me. It helped me to understand certain things. Due to the awareness that was given to me, I was able to gain further knowledge regarding my journey. That we call life. And why I am here. I am not requesting that you reject everything that you were taught, everything that you believe. I'm asking you to love yourself enough that you're willing to hear both sides of the stories, plural. I want to first begin by saying respect spiritual texts. Do not deny your privilege to read from the spiritual textbook that your intuition is guiding you to. It was from my exploration of acquiring knowledge by comparing philosophies, by connecting to the ones that made sense to me, that spoke to me, that are real to me. Is because I was open to explore these avenues. Keep God as your center. I encourage you to keep God as your center. But be open to learn all parts of you. Because until you make the acquaintance of your authentic self, you will not only be living a limited life, your experiences and goals of manifestation will be limited. Now, with all that said, there aren't any coincidences. Your name is coded. Your birthday is coded. Your birthplace is coded. Everything is coded. As you are inviting enlightenment in your life, you will gain the skill of decoding. Therefore, overstanding confirmation, the essence of oneness. I want to first off tell you that something you've heard from me many times before. Balance is the fruit of the universe. That was my download. In that, it offers understanding. That there is need for light. There is need for dark. Such as there is a need for feminine. There is also a need for masculinity. I was directed to use light and dark, femininity and masculinity, because what is good can be debated. What is bad can be debated. In essence, it is an opinion. But what is factual is that there is a need for dark. There is a need for light. That is required to afford us the different cycles of life. There is a time to be up. There is a time to be down. Such as karma. There is a time for you to offend. And there is a time to be offended. Your karma is created. It's self-induced. What you experience is the fruit of your creations. If your load is not to the extent of your lifespan, you carry it over. And you see it next lifetime. The enemies that defined themselves as such followed me. And one of the ways they follow you is by way of contract. And although knowledge is something that we fear, it is unavoidable. Because before you drive a car, you must learn how to drive. If you decide, I'm not ready for this driver's ed manual, then you're not ready to drive. You're not ready for the freedom of where you journey, how you journey, and how long you journey. You will just be experiencing life. You'll be experiencing life as it comes. And I want to remind you and offer some comfort in saying it is a choice. There are those of you that are being applauded for test scores when you didn't even know you were taking a test. And that includes myself. And after understanding that, I was further briefed on the fact that my endurance, my resilience, my persistence, my courage, and so forth was applied with wisdom because I prepared for this time. Lifetimes ago. There is nothing that you do that will not come back for you. And I know there are philosophies out there stating there is no such thing as karma. But we are witnessing it. We are witnessing it in our circles. We are witnessing it in our stories. But there still is a choice. Will you be in the category of illusion or our understanding and connection to this reality? Red pill, blue pill. It is a choice. In fact, most of what you are exposed to in the arts, I'm hearing all that you are exposed to and that is brought to your attention in the arts are reflections of life. So reading into things with wisdom is beneficial. I want to give you an example. There is an individual that I have connected with in this life that I have memories of being strangled until a loss of consciousness. I also have memories of being thrown off a ship by that same individual. Now, as I bring this to your attention, I want you to understand that I am attracted to an exchange of understanding. And so as I process what I am being enlightened to, I position myself in different perspectives. For example, those of you that are more centered in the philosophies of psychology may interpret these memories, quote unquote, that I've had to be symbolic. For example, someone throwing you off a ship. Having a psychology background myself can also be interpreted by someone abandoning you. Someone releasing you. And if you sit with those that want to choose my words carefully here. Are more we could say attracted to. The word is verse. Are more versed in a religious sense. It could mean those memories are connected to a need for prayer. You might be in danger. If you dream someone is strangling you, if you dream someone is throwing you off a ship, and so forth. Now, someone who is just, and I'm smiling as I say this because I know such individuals in my life. A spectator of some sort. Would just say, it's just a dream. Maybe it's something you ate. Maybe it's something that you watched on TV and it caused you to gain that perspective. Whatever your angle is your truth. This is where we can all agree. Whatever your angle is your truth. If you subscribe more to a background in psychology, your interpretation is what it is for you. If you subscribe more in the understanding of spirituality, that is your truth. If you are a religious person, that is your truth. I want to make it clear that your experience and your understanding is your truth. And an other individual that wants to interject or override your truth is not staying in their lane. They're out of their lane. And this is what causes collision. Because you need to be focused on your path. And I need to be focused on my path. As we acknowledge the rules and regulations on the road, as we comply to such speed limits, as we obey, stop, yield, go, that offers a harmonious outcome. Persecution in relation to free thinking has been a part of our histories for a very long time. And until we learn the new concepts being presented to us by the authentic pioneers that were selected to be vessels of the message, we will remain in repeating cycles of misfortune. This is why we must respect the laws of the universe. The understanding of how universal energies intertwine is so vast that we need to be humble enough to absorb what is being downloaded to us at our own pace of understanding. When we allow others that self-proclaim themselves without fruits of their labor, we then experience the chaos of the blind leading the blind. And that attracts low vibrational karma on our path. No one but God can convince me otherwise regarding my experiences and my truth. When someone injures you, hurts you, kills you, destroys you, and so forth, there is karmic debt. And whether it comes to you right now or 10 years from now or next lifetime, your address is made available. In fact, sometimes the depth of karmic offense is so astronomical that it is descended in your future generations. The experiences I've experienced and the willingness to make peace with them is my understanding of how things work. We all have mothers and fathers, grandmothers and grandfathers, and the great ancestors. There are lessons that were presented and tests that were given and percentiles that were recorded that you accrued in your DNA. Emphasizing generational curses. The family you come from, the bloodline that you carry, affects your karma due to their level of understanding, their emotional intelligence, their exposure to wisdom, their past experiences, I'm hearing their attraction and connection to God, their relationship with their guardian angels, their discipline in study, the company they keep, the addictions that they are enslaved to, and more factor in our experiences. And this is why we have to be selective in the companies that we keep. This is why we have to remember the time. This is why we have to pay homage to those that came before us. This is why we need to learn to be kind. This is why integrity should be incorporated. This is why there is no power greater than love. Those of you that are in a season of celebration are fueled by love. The negativity keeps you down. And your destiny, wow. Someone does not want me to speak this truth. And so I will. The destiny to ascension, confirmation, cannot be stolen when love is your source. If you allow yourself to quit and no longer believe in the goodness of others, no longer are open to effort in self-development, in harmony, in servicing, that hinders your growth. We need to learn to go with the flow. And I chose to go with the flow. I also know that the karma that is being distributed to those that offended me are due to the repeated offenses that were made against me from this lifetime and those previous. I also want to bring to your attention that the ancestors, their bloodlines, their mothers and fathers, their great-greats, ancestors, also have offended those I've descended from. I understand it is complicated for those of you that are just being approached with this understanding of connection. And this is why I will remind you to use this opportunity to take what you want and to leave the rest. Due to one of my callings as being a pioneer, I am well aware that some of my messages are just meant to be a seed. And as you continue your path and encounter further lessons and various teachers and moments of enlightenment, you will remember when. And that is when you will be able to facilitate the connecting of the dots. As you gain a glimpse of the bigger picture. As that is required to pass your test. To promote to ascension. And as I've said, there are those equipped with the knowledge of decoding your Akashic records. And are able to assist in guiding you on the themes of your life. When this information was brought to my attention, I must say, it put a smile on my face. Because I understood. So that's why. This is what I'm supposed to learn in this season. These are my scores. This is what I need to work on. Yes, people. It's all systematic. That is why the root is coding. Your encounter with others are opportunities to learn those lessons. And this is why I do not allow the hype of others to master my mind. If you choose to believe that color is black, then that color is black to you. If you choose to believe that color is white, then that color is white to you. That does not require me to subscribe to your understanding of reality. But one thing I know for sure is I am on my right path, which enables me to co-create and manifest an experience at life that I desire. The position that I am in today was manifested. I say it, and so it is. Manifestation for me requires my ability to walk in humility, to be in the spirit of obedience, to be open to study, to see things from different perspectives, to conduct self-evaluations, to constructively criticize areas in my life that require further development. This does not afford me time to compete, to compare, to pretend. My focus is my priority. I decided that I will embrace the opportunity of ascension. That comes with rules and regulations. That comes with loyalty to my alliance. Betrayal is not tolerated. Theft was never part of the agreement. Karmic debt stands. As I introduce food for thought, I want to advise you to attract discernment in your lives. Whether you take the route of prayer or affirmation or study or divine guidance, please utilize discernment in all your efforts. The art of discernment can make you or break you. Failure to comply with final judgments is very expensive. Many are witnessing it, many are experiencing it. Many are rude awakening to it. If you were an individual, confirmation, that was participating in spiritual crimes, which made its connection to physical crimes, which attracted mind manipulation and the gift of gab. I'm being led to tell you backtrack. Because everything that you put out is what you attract. So in your quest of knowing your fortune, make reference to the spiritual crimes that you have committed. God allowed everything that took place in my life because He also offered the backstory and gave me the capacity to connect the dots. Throughout my journey of persecution, I was being given revelation through dreams, visions. And the opportunity to remember and reclaim all the clairs. This is not my first time in time being devoted to teaching others about spirituality. And this is why another that is an illusion of being able to claim a destiny is not eligible to the position. There are categories of ranking. And although this information may be new to you, it's not being disclosed to you to discipline you. It is being disclosed to you for you. Because in all truth, my karma and your karma is self-induced. Confirmation. I am not called to concentrate on the karma of my self-proclaimed enemies. My concentration is on love. Everything that I experienced as hardship, as defamations of character, as theft, as manipulation, as exploitation, all afforded a clearing of my karma. You see how that works? All afforded a clearing for my karma. Let me repeat that for someone who slipped and made a big mistake. All the efforts in persecution, in sacrificing, in destroying, in attempting to dominate, in ridiculing, in stealing of inheritance, all offenses that were accrued afforded a clearing to all my karma, which afforded my new beginning. And so the light needs the dark, and the dark needs the light. Because we are the vessels and the messengers that assist you in growth and development. I am thankful for all of my experiences. I am thankful for clearing of all my past karmas. I'm thankful for the understanding that it wasn't being done to me, it was being done for me. I'm thankful for the gift of promotion. I am thankful for my new connections. I am thankful for my power. My power. They feel a way. Oh, wow. They feel a way. Oh, wow. Live by grace.